No, I'd say that's pretty sophisticated, Maddie, for something so small. Can do a lot, you know.
I mean, same with phone cameras. They're pretty small, but they can get pretty fancy these days.
Yeah. Sure, I haven't looked at one of those, having one of those for decades, so I don't even know what they're up to now as far as their technology. So let's check to make sure we have more oil. Bring over the bottle from the yellow cabinet before we start emptying oil. Okay. And I guess if someone wants to put this away, I think we're done with this. You want to take care of this?
This stuff
Yeah.
is going to be 6. So you're just looking at hey, we're just doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then since we try to name the stuff for the other ones, then it kind of already is. So they're interchangeable. So I'm going to this one.
Oh, great. So that'll last. When that gets to be about halfway down, then you can tell Mike to order some more.
Okay.
Let's see how much we've put in there, but I bet you it'll only go down about that much.
All right.
That's usually what I've noticed. It's not a lot.
That's good.
If I'm wrong, then tell Mike to order some more right away. That was sort of sloppy on my part. Okay, so let's run a cycle. Oh, we need our pans. So I already asked Maddie. She remembered for draining. Remember, we need one pan to lift this up so it drains a little better. One really slow pan to get back here. So 2 pans. The one in front could be, the bigger pan, normal pan. Yeah, you should be able to just lift that up and scoot it under. There's 2 rubber feet under there, so maybe try to get it under the rubber feet. But if not, it's probably fine. It's not going to hurt anything.
On the other feet.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I forgot. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. We're going to run it once or twice just to warm things up, warm the pump up. So let's, just put the cover on. We can do a couple cycles. Just going to watch how low the pressure. This pressure reading is pretty close to our gauge, so it's pretty well calibrated. Not perfect. I'd say within 3 torques, so it's not bad. So I'd say that you want that to go down to something like at least 7. I'd say 8 torque. 8 torque. If it gets down to 8 torque, there, it's probably on the actual gauge. It's probably going to be down to the 6 torque we need or less, to pass the spec. Yeah, you can keep that, just let me know how it works. That, you know, that usually happens right at the end of the cycle. That's the lowest it's going to be. Not in the middle of the cycle, when it, at that point where it stops pumping. But it hasn't, it sort of sits there under vacuum for a few seconds, then it releases it. So at that point,
You guys have any questions?
Okay.
Yeah. Got down to 18.
18? Ooh, that's not good. That's not good. Oh well, let's just try. It seems like, see, that's what I was going to mention before, the cycle. You know, there's
Wait,
different
is this-
numbers there.
No, that's
that's just
cycle
the
and that's
time.
time. Yeah, it fully
Well, there
says
should be,
pressure.
hang on.
It's a flow cycle right now.
Okay. Yeah, pressure. But that's that thing where
Yeah.
it seems to be bad at first, and then after we run it a few times, it sort of gets better and better and better. That's the thing where maybe the way you guys are doing multiple specimens, moisture's getting trapped in the system, and that's what's sort of throwing that off. And it'll take a while to get the moisture out. And that seems to be what's happening, because then eventually it starts doing well again. You know. Lately, has it been drying things good, or taking too long?
For the most part, I've been having students be doing this.
So they don't report back to you.
Yeah, but from what I've seen, like, you know, when I'm here in the morning doing it myself, it seems fine.
Even recent last few days. Okay. All right. Well, hopefully we'll be good. If not, we'll keep playing with it and see if we can get it back to normal.
Got down to 17 that time.
Okay. So little by little, if I'm right, see, even the guy at the tech support at Instrument, I asked him this very question. I said, maybe because we're drawing multiple specimens, something's happening. I didn't know exactly what I just said. Something's happening, and then after a while it gets back to normal when we're not drawing, when we're drawing with specimens, you know. And he wouldn't really answer that question. So I think that's sort of what's happening. If that's what's happening. You know. Remember, I was ready to get the vacuum pump repaired, and then suddenly it started drying good again. Remember, you guys, I think, reported that it's not drying that well. Then when I checked it, it was way off the vacuum. And that's when we were getting ready, oh, the machine's bad, you know. And then suddenly it started working well again. You know, it's weird. In the past, we never had this trouble. Maybe because we were only drying one specimen at a time. You know. But anyway, it'll be out of my hair in a few weeks, so it'll be up to you guys how you want to handle it. Rather than Erwin and Mike. As long as it's drying good, I guess that's the main thing. Well, no, it has to pass calibration. Maybe that's back to Erwin and they care. AMRO, when they can go inspect, they might care, you know, if it's really passing or not. I'm not sure, you know. Because aside from drying it, you guys look at actual mass, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was going to say you look at actual mass. So can you tell when it's actually most of the moisture removed by looking at the mass?
Yeah.
So there's no doubt about that. Whether this is doing it well or not. When the moisture's on, the moisture's on. So
Yeah.
maybe
Plus,
that's good enough.
if all the moisture wasn't out when you put it through the oven machine, like you'd see water bubble up to the top
Pour
of
water.
like the bean. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So-
within the vacuum bag, and you never see that.
No,
We're
you
not.
don't see that.
We're only once in a while when you know the setting's on the job.
Yeah.
Okay. What's it going to do now?
Oh, it just started a new cycle, so
Let's see if it's getting to maybe it's down to 15 or 14.
yeah, it's got 40 more seconds left.
Oh, so that reaches zero when it's at its maximum vacuum? That countdown?
So it just the time is set and then it just gets to whatever pressure it goes to, but it goes down.
Right. It gets to some lowest value.
Yeah.
At zero or as soon as when it reaches zero? Or?
When the time reaches zero.
Yeah. I should know that.
17 again.
All right, we've warmed it up pretty good. Now we can dump the oil. So you can stop the cycles. And now we can tilt it up and get ready to dump the oil. Hang on, one other thing, sorry. I guess it actually might be easier to reach this nut before we tilt it up. You want to loosen this nut on the vacuum pump. That's where we have wrenches there. Sorry about that. Yeah, we have a couple different size wrenches, 2 sizes. That may or may not be the right one.
Nope.
Oh, that's how you do it?
We're trying to change this.
Oh, okay. I'm able to usually with a little hair. You can. Let me show you, Brian. Because this one, yeah, doing it that way. If you want to use that one, you should still come from down below.
Oh.
Let's
So
see.
that makes more sense.
There you go. But yeah, if you want to try that
No,
one, that's
no.
fine.
That would be much easier.
It just takes a little hair.